Welcome back to the Paddle and Fin Podcast Network. We're brought to you by Pelican, built tough for all situations. Go to pelican.com. Yak Gadget, for all your fine kayak fishing accessory needs. Go to yakgadget.com. Eastport Marina, on the beautiful shores of Dale Hollow Lake, for all your lodging, kayaking, and fishing needs. Go to eastport.info. Now let's get this show started.
Welcome back, everybody, to the final cast. I'm your host, Matt.
And I'm Brad.
It's going to be a good show if we can get through it without having to think about Ohio weather. It's still, I tell you what, man, yesterday we got an inch and a half of snow.
Yeah, but then it melted towards the end of the day. So.
Oh yeah, it came around and let you know that it was still there, just to immediately melt away. It's like teasing you, letting you know it's still cold.
I hope that was the last of the cold weather, because I enjoyed fishing throughout the winter, but right now I'm sick of the cold weather, dude. I'm just sick of it.
Yeah, dude, I'm just sick of going out and my hands hurting so much. Even with gloves and stuff, I have to take glove off to feel the reel and feel the line, and my hands just freeze, my fingers, and I'm done with it. I'm ready for water temps to come up so fish start spawning and we get that big old hard bite on. I'm excited.
It's going to be a weird year for spawn. We're going to have a late one, I think.
Yeah, I think it's going to be late too, because looking at the temps, it's still going to fluctuate a ton through this next 2 weeks. We have a freeze warning tonight, and of course Monday I mowed my grass and I chopped it short thinking it's just going to rain all week. It's going to be in the 40s. Yeah, and then the next morning just snows and it's 31 degrees. It's great. So my grass is all going to probably die, so that's going to suck, but
that sucks. That's funny.
It does. But this week on the final cast, we're going to do something that I think a lot of people are going to enjoy. We're going to talk about online tackle buying. And it's really kind of taken off from when I was a kid. I know when Brad was a kid, when we were all growing up, we'd always go to tackle shops or big box chains, back in the glory days of Dick's Sporting Goods, when they had a huge fishing department and everything. So it's kind of transformed how we buy tackle. And on the show, we're bringing our buddy Cameron Daniel to talk about.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
What's up, dude?
Cam, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. I appreciate you guys letting me come on, and this is definitely a subject that hits close to home because I'm newer to fishing. I've been doing it for about 2 years now, and I grew up in that. I'm coming into that age where online is kind of the primary source of getting all of my tackle, reels, rods, everything. I didn't, grow up in the age where your primary source of fishing stuff was going to stores and small tackle shops. So it's definitely an interesting subject.
Yeah, Matt told me, he was like, man, we should get on Cam and talk about that. I was like, you know what? That's a good idea, because you and Matt both find all the really good deals. And we were actually looking through eBay right before we started this podcast, trying to look for me for a reel. So I think we found a winner.
Yeah, let's hope. There's a ton of, we'll get into the show, but Cam is the big reason why I wanted Cam on is for two reasons. First reason, Cam, you already said it. You're newer to the fishing age, or you coming into where you've only been fishing for a couple of years, so online buying has been your primary way of getting tackle. And two, Brad is correct. You are like me. You find the deals. You scour through eBay. You're not like me to the extent that you're going on Amazon JP yet, but it's all right. We'll get you there.
So. I haven't gotten that bad yet, but I'm definitely at the point where I'm like, I want to get the best gear that I can get, but I'm also incredibly frugal. So I'm gonna be looking for the deals.
Dude, me too. I hate spending money. Ask Matt. Oh, well, you guys saw me at the tackle shop down in Kentucky. I walked out of there with nothing. I was like, I ain't spending money.
Yeah, and so all the viewers at home, that was the dumbest thing I've ever seen someone do, because this is a little tackle shop attached to a gas station, and the gas station is smaller than the tackle shop. And these guys had old school power baits, old school Yamamoto's, decent Megabass selection.
Rico's.
Really
they
good
had
reel
Rico.
selection.
Yeah.
I mean, they had some Shimano JDM reels that you don't get in the US. They had them there. And this guy walks through the whole thing. I'm sitting here spending like $200. When he walks through and I was like, checking out, I was like, oh, Brad, need a couple more minutes. He's like, no, I'm not getting anything. I was like, you're just stupid. Like, there's so much stuff that you're never going to, there's so much stuff that you have to go online to buy that's here. It kind of brings me back to Cam. This is like I can get the stuff online. But to me, I was big because Brad, you fished when you were growing up, but you didn't really get heavy into fishing till
10 years ago.
About 10 years ago. So you were still big box chains, but I mean, I'm sure that you have a lot of online experience with it. But I was, growing up around us here in the Dayton area, it's there was a ton of little mom and pop tackle shops that are just kind of gone because of how online tackle buying has come, which double-edged sword. It's great that I can go into one place, get everything I want, ship it, but it's bad because I have to wait for it to come in and you don't get that little experience. So, but we're going to talk about online tackle buying today. Brad, where do you want to start off at?
Well, honorable mention. Let's mention that tackle shop because that was better than the Field and Stream here. What was it called? Cumberland.
The name of it was
Lake
Cumberland Pro Bass or something.
Yes.
Sure.
Yeah,
so if you're in the area,
still on my maps.
If you're going to Cumberland or you're going to Dale Hollow or something, like going south, you need to stop there because that place is amazing.
I'm definitely glad. On our trip down to Dale Hollow, we just stopped in there by chance, and I went in there, and it's the first place that I've ever seen the Megabass Flap Slaps, the deep dive version. And I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna spend $60 in like 2 minutes because I was in there for like maybe a total of 10 minutes, and then I bought stuff from Matt while I was there because I was like, hey man, I stopped at this gas station, and he knew exactly what gas station I was at.
I did. I was telling Brad on the way down there, I was like, we got to stop at this little gas station tackle shop. And Brad's like, dude, I want to get down there and fish. And then I wasn't even paying attention. We drive right by it, and I was like, there it is. And then we drove right back to the grocery store. So I was eating chips and like peanuts the whole week. So that was fun. But that's another story. But yeah, it is Lake Cumberland Outdoors Pro Bass Shop.
Quite a mouthful.
It is, but it's in Braunston, Kentucky. And that place is fantastic. So if any of the workers there, the locals down there hearing this, let them know that they are doing a great job. And I will continue to go there every single time I drive through Dale Hollow, Cumberland, Florida. I'll take a trip around it. When I was coming home from Florida to bring my dad home, I was only like 20 minutes away, and I was really trying to push my way over there. But there's too much traffic and I couldn't. But yeah, great place. Honorable mention for sure. If they get an online shop, I'll spend my money there.
But hey, I'm definitely glad I stopped there. All the fish I caught down in Dale Hollow were on that flap slap that I bought there. So definitely money well spent.
They had the rock crawlers too. Nobody else around here has that, so I thought that was cool.
And what's that popper that they had that
Rico?
Labina Lures Rico
said that they were like impossible to find.
Labina Lures Rico. Yeah.
Yep. The Rico. The only other place I've ever seen that Fisherman's headquarters here. That's about it. I've never seen it in any other shop. But Brad, you're not wrong. That tackle shop in Cumberland is better than the Cabela's and Field and Stream here.
Oh yeah,
for sure.
Definitely. I don't know. I guess we can start off by mention your guys' favorite spots to look for when trying to buy tackle, and yeah, let's just start there.
As far as like rods go, I obviously look on like eBay first because that's typically where you can, find your good deals. When I was first getting into it and started getting into higher end rods, I was looking on eBay for like G Loomis, decent St. Croix, also like Facebook Marketplace. But as I'm getting into like the super expensive like Megabass rods, my favorite spot to go is the Hookup Tackle. Definitely have the best selection as far as like depths, Megabass, Lucky Craft, basically anything JDM they're gonna have like everything. So if I'm looking for like a video or like just a good selection to see what I want to get, I'm going to Hookup to see what they have, and they've definitely gotten quite a bit of my money so far. So right now, as far as rods go, I go to them. But for reels, uh, they don't really have a the Shimano selection that I like for the price. So I go to eBay for my reels.
Okay. I've never heard of the hookup tackle. That's kind of interesting.
The hookup
They-
tackle to sorry to cut you off, Cam, but this place I'm pretty sure I introduced you to hookup.
You did.
Yeah. So the hookup tackle is the United States premier Megabass Superstore. They are the largest showroom. It's just located in Phoenix, Arizona. It's the largest showroom of Megabass tackle in the United States. They are the only place that order JDM specific stuff. So just on what for our YouTube people watching the video, what you're seeing, this is the Hookup's main page. Make sure when you type in the hookup tackle, because if you just type in hookup, some weird stuff pops up. But they get stuff like he was saying. It's a Lucky Crap depths, and some of the stuff that you get from depths is you can only get it through them or go to JDM, like have to order from mainland Japan. Same thing with OSP. These are all JDM baits, and that's what really made a lot of people a lot easier to get into JDM, is because this place has so much. I want to say Megabass, Cam, correct me or help me if I'm wrong, but I want to say they have 25,000 SKUs of Megabass lures.
Yep.
Jeez.
And I mean, it's insane. And they get colors and stuff that you would never get ever in the
Like
US.
They're the only website that I've seen other than like the JDM websites that have all of like the Megabass celebration colorways for like their hard baits and stuff. So it's like an exclusive line that they do like every now and then, and they also do exclusive drops on their Vision 110s, their Pop Maxes, stuff like that. So if you're not following the Hookup Tackle on Instagram or Facebook or anything, I would definitely follow them. That way you can see when they're doing these drops. And as far as like hard baits go, they have the best selection of Megabass hard baits that I've ever seen. It's a little bit like lackluster right now because everyone's buying it, but when they do have stuff in stock, it's amazing. And the nice thing about the website,
Go ahead.
But the nice thing about the website is with a lot of their hard baits, he's usually going to have like a YouTube video that goes with it to show you like the action and like the depth that hard bait is good for. And you can kind of see it in action, which is nice for a person like me, because if I'm spending $25 on a single bait, I kind of want to know that I'm getting my money's worth.
Yeah, that's a good point. Is there a spot on there that shows a video?
Yeah, there is. So this is just on the Vision 110, for example. And like Cam says, they make videos for everything. And they have 43 different styles of Megabass jerkbaits. And then all these colors are just under this one style. So they have a ton. And then he has a YouTube video that talks about Megabass jerkbaits. And it breaks it down. You know, obviously with Megabass, a lot of people can sometimes be a little intimidated by going into it because there's, you know, the Megabass Vision 110, everyone knows it's just a basic jerkbait. But they have different shapes, different sizes, different, you know, applications for the jerks. And that one video, he goes through every single one of them. So it's not just a, you know, a online store to buy them. He shows you how to fish them, what rod powers to use. Now, I will say you will get a little envious of those videos because every single rod power and every single rod he shows is like a $700 Megabass Destroyer P5 or NRX pluses. Like, I mean,
you got to look the part.
I'm gonna tell you what,
I'm
man, they got
pretty
some slick gear.
I'm pretty sure in the vision that he shows you about the 110s, he's using the Megabass P5 Destroyer 110 stick, and you're just like, oh, I just have to spend $500 on a rod, and I'm perfect.
Yeah. But I mean, you know, it's the whole website, even the soft plastics. If you go into it, 9 times out of 10, they'll have a video with most of them. So Like they have just on this, here's the bottle shrimp from Mega Bass, and some they don't, some they do. But like the bottle shrimps, for example, are stuff you're not finding very often in the U.S. market, and it's perfect for like these are like would be a great Ned bait, for example. The baits, Cam, what did you have down at Dale Hollow? You had
Dale Hollow. I was throwing the rock hog on a net.
The rock hog. The rock hog.
Throwing the 3-inch.
Yep. The rock hog is a fantastic mega bass bait that again you wouldn't know unless you either knew about it, or watched a video. But the joy of hookup is you can just go through that website and get introduced to baits that you would never get introduced to. And some of the baits that, from the JDM market are the weirdest things on earth at how they look.
They have some goofy looking baits.
Like that's from the Dancing Bone Doctor. That's from Kasumi Designs. That's a JDM
that's
product.
Cool.
And I mean, it's 3 1/4 inch, or you can get a 2.5 inch. And I mean, some of these baits are pretty cool. So it can kind of let you try some new stuff if you want, but also kind of push you into the market. So
heck yeah, and that's cool. I mean, I didn't know that you could do that kind of thing on these websites like that. And that bait right there looks cool. It looks like one of those free flowing like soft plastic swim baits. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and he when they first got this, I think they started carrying Kasumi last year. They actually have a video that covers different baits, like every Thursday? I believe it's every Thursday he does a video. It's what's new to the hookup and it's new baits, things like that. And they actually have a video showing how this works. And it literally underwater, it dances, kind of like what Dancing Bone Doctor. It'll move around. It's one of the coolest, freakiest baits I've ever seen in my life.
It looks pretty wicked, man. I like how it looks.
It's pretty dope.
Like the thing I really like about the hookup videos is that they have like a decent sized tank right there in the showroom, and every video, if you show him like a soft plastic or one of the hard baits or like a swim bait or a glide bait, he'll throw it in that pool. That way you can see exactly what it's going to do in the water. And he has like a GoPro, so you can like see everything that it's doing. So it's definitely informative, and it helps, especially if you're kind of wary of getting into the JDM market, because it is kind of an odd beast, especially with like the price point of some things and like the rarity of some of the stuff that you're seeing out there. Having the internet as a resource is definitely helpful in today's day and age.
I believe it. Go ahead, Matt.
No, you're good. I was just agreeing with Cam.
I don't know where I was going to go with it. Lost my train of thought.
I mean, I can just say it's the hookup online, which, there's other websites which we're going to get into, but the hookup kind of gives you that, even though it's an online store, it gives you that tackle shop feel, because he doesn't it's not just a website you go to buy stuff. Like he interacts with the customers. His Instagram has a huge following, and he'll interact with you and kind of explain. Like I bought a BFS setup from it, and I was just getting into BFS last year, and I was like, oh, how would this Megabass, it's a Megabass Hyuga. It's like, how would this rod, deal with Ned rigs and whatnot on a casting setup? And the guy messaged me back within 20 minutes. He was like, oh yeah, it's, it's how we've used it for that. It works great. And then he linked me to a video showing them using that application.
That's cool.
Exactly how I wanted to. So like it gives you that tackle shop feel without having an actual tackle shop. Unless you're in Phoenix, Arizona, then you get to live the life and go there every day. Like I would.
Yeah.
That would be great.
I was going to say, I could see you guys moving down there.
Dude, I was literally at Dale Hollow. I was talking to Shane. I was like, I was like, you know what? We should do one of these trips to like Phoenix, Arizona. And just so I can go to the hookup and you guys can fish. And one day I'm just going to go there and I'm just going to like sleep there. Like
if you ever make that trip, let me know. I'll save like 10 grand.
I mean, they've got some money stuff in there.
That BFS combo that you had, was that the one that I casted?
Yeah, the Aldebaran.
That thing
BFS
was amazing.
Here you go.
That was amazing.
Cast, man. I mean, that was one of the things that really kind of threw me, because obviously with Ned rigs and small applications, you cast it. You can get rods like the Douglas. They make an X Matrix, the 610 XF, or no 610 ML XF, which is great for casting Ned rigs. It casted them awesome, but this cat with a casting setup, which Josh from Dark Horse is going to be mad because he gets upset that we use casting applications for spinning techniques, but whatever. I don't care. I don't care, Josh. But, I I mean, you can just cast that thing a mile. You casted it, and you were every bit of casting 50 or 60 yards with a
I
Ned
was
rig.
casting further than my spinning
Yeah.
setup. It was insane. Blew my mind.
Yeah, and I wasn't
Makes
even
me-
like a 1/5 head or anything like we typically throw to get the most casting distance and get the bottom quicker. I mean, that was, I think I didn't have a 10th. I may have had a 10th on that because we were fishing shallow. So I may have had a 10th on that, and that thing still zinged. I mean, it went forever.
Yep. So the hookup tackle, do they ever have like any special deals or anything on that website?
They do. However, it usually excludes Megabass.
Oh, of
Yeah.
course it does.
It-
So they
it
have
does.
other stuff on there.
Yeah, they have 25,000 SKUs in Megabass, but they also have a big assortment of Z-Man stuff.
Okay.
They get certain jackhammers that other like Cabela's Bass Pro,
Fire
Tackle
crawl.
Warehouse stuff. They had, so last year when no one could find a fire crawl,
Yeah.
he had made an order with the Z-Man and got like 10,000 fire crawls sent to his shop.
Jeez.
And he was selling, he's like, yeah, I'm selling, I just got another batch. I have another 4,000 coming. We've sold 4,000 in 3 weeks. You know, that's when fire crawl was really hitting all across the country for whatever reason. I can't say I
Hank
didn't
Cherry
buy,
won
like,
the Bassmaster with it.
Yep, they'll say, hey, that's kind of what exploded it. Is fire
Yeah.
crawl became the new color. I mean, I've got like 15 of them in a box,
have, like,
just in case I lose them.
4.
Yeah,
That's
Well,
cool
Remember
though.
when those things were on eBay for like $80.
I was selling them. I was that guy. I was buying them and selling them on eBay. I had my like 15, and I was buying them and selling them on eBay for like $80. And I was like, man, you know,
Oh man.
I want more Megabass stuff. So I was
See-
selling them and then using it for Megabass.
People do that with video game consoles too. I mean,
Yeah.
it is what
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah, I was a
So-
scalper. I feel dirty though. I stopped doing it after like 2 weeks, and I was like, I'm not doing this anymore. I feel dirty. Like,
That's funny.
yeah, but
That's
yeah,
funny.
the hookup's awesome.
If people are buying it, someone will sell it.
Heck yeah. So I want to move over. You mentioned it briefly. I want to move over to eBay because you guys mentioned. Well, you guys showed me that you found a bunch of great deals on reels, like old and new, that look
Mhm.
mint perfect. So let's talk about that
yeah.
a little bit.
So Cam, I'll let you talk about it because you actually introduced me. I've been using eBay. I think it was on one of the first shows that I did with you, Brad, last year. At some point when I was talking about, you know, my JDM. I've been using JDM products since like 2013, and I remember on eBay I was buying the Metanium 13s and whatnot for $400 and $500 and waiting 2 months for them to ship to my house from Japan. And shipping, I mean, the whole industry's changed a lot, and gone are the time, for me anyway, gone are the times of searching, because Cameron, in his infinite frugal ways, has found the dopest Shimano seller on eBay, and we're about to talk about it. So Cam, take it away.
Well, hold on 1 second. Do you really want to spoil this secret?
Oh
I
yeah,
work-
but there's a ton of people who know about him. The dude has
Okay.
like reviews out the zing. So
And even if I were to, if I drop his name, hopefully he gets more business. And I mean, if I'm good to other people and introduce them to the opportunity to get amazing JDM reels for a good price, maybe something good will happen to me. So
oh, there you
But,
go.
There you go. Catch a big.
the-
Maybe
tail
you'll stay upright in your kayak. for a
that's
trip.
the hope. Don't have to spend a bunch more money on stuff that I lost
pounder.
that I could have saved had I just used a 30-cent bungee cord.
Yeah, well,
Yep.
it's okay. I've got catch boards and everything else in the lakes everywhere. So
I think you have a catchboard in Dale Hollow.
no, I don't have one in Dale Hollow. I have one another little spot up here. I've got a catch board there, and then I have a rod. I've got a rod in Dale Hollow.
I thought you said you lost
Yeah.
a catchboard during a tournament.
That was a
Yeah.
different tournament here in Ohio. Believe me, luckily there was somebody around me I kind of knew that let me use their catch board, because I caught like 4 fish after I lost mine, so I could still place in the tournament. So yeah, it was a rough day. Yeah, rough day.
But basically, the guy's eBay, he is located in Tokyo. It's YG-Japan. If you want to find it on eBay, kind of just type it in the search bar, but don't press enter because it'll pop down and it'll say an eBay store. And he has everything. He has Bantam MGLs, Antares DC, Accents DC, Scorpion DCs, Chronarch MGLs, Chronarch CI4s. I'm still waiting for the day that he has a Stratix CI4 for a good price, because the second I see it, I am going to buy it.
Yeah.
But
I'm sure he will eventually.
the very first reel that I ever bought from him was it was a Chronarch CI4. It was this bad boy. I bought it last summer for around, I think, $180, and it was in basically like new condition. And the nice thing about it is it was like $180 with like $20 shipping, which I mean, thinking about it, $20 shipping, that's a lot. But I mean, it's coming from Japan, and he ships through DHL, and I wasn't sure. I was expecting it to show up in like a month, but this dude, he must have like a portal from Japan to Ohio, because it showed up at my door 3 days later. I was like,
That's
"There's no
crazy.
way."
That's
And,
cool though.
Yeah, I
The-
remember
the
when he
crazy
bought
thing
it.
is-
He came to work and he was like, he showed to me. I was like, "Oh, you guys buy? Where'd you get this?" He's like, "Oh, eBay. Got it from a guy in Tokyo." I was like, "Oh, so you bought it like what, 2 months ago?" He's like, "No, dude, I bought this like 3 days ago." And I was like, "What did you just say?" He said 3 days ago. He's like, "Yeah, man, I bought it 3 days ago." And that Alder Baron, that I'm pretty sure we got the Alder Baron from YG, didn't we?
Yeah,
Yeah, that Alder Baron that I used on my VFS setup.
Yeah.
Yeah, I bought it. Cam, I had sold Cam a rod or something or another, and I was
I'm
like,
pretty
"Hey,
sure I
instead of
got a
just giving
rod from you, and
yeah," and I was like, "Hey, instead of just giving me money, just buy this reel for me. It's the same cost, blah blah." And he's like, "All right, yeah," and he bought it, and like 4 days later, he was like, "Oh, here's your reel," and I was like, "This is voodoo. Like, I don't understand.
That's awesome.
Like, this makes no sense. Like, you're using a jet plane and dropping it by parachute over his house or something, because this thing is getting there like immediately." Like, this little guy's, I mean, he's getting the order and then packing it up and running it to a DHL right when he gets it, like
Yeah.
all hours of the night.
the nice thing about it is if you're ordering the reel here in Ohio at like 11 o'clock at night, it's like 10 in the morning for that guy. So he's just like, oh, puts it in a box,
Yeah,
gets
that's
it to
true.
DHL, and it's at your house. And it's
Yeah, so he's actually traveling in time in a sense.
I guess. I mean, yeah, that's a good way to think about it.
That's funny.
But the crazy thing about this guy's shop is he has basically every Shimano reel that you can think of, and he has them like as old as like early 2000s to like the mid 2010s, and they're all in amazing condition, and they're usually for an amazing price. Like there's an Antares DC on there somewhere that's an $800 reel.
Yeah, I mean, for instance, this Excense DC SS is typically a $500 reel, brand new, and this is a near mint Excense SS DC, and he's got it for $249.98.
Can't beat
So,
that.
I mean,
the
you
nice
really
thing-
can't.
The nice thing about that is the Japanese, they take incredibly good care of everything, so
Yeah.
that reel is still going to be like brand new.
Yeah, I was curious about that because he has grades on some of those reels. It's like, what is it again? Excellent plus 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 or something.
Yeah,
He's
he's got like this
excellent
one's
plus mint.
excellent 4 pluses, and then he has near mint, and but even like the reels that like that Alder Baron I think I bought was excellent plus. It only had 1 plus on it, but I got it and it looked brand new. Like it came in the original box. It looked brand spanking new. So I don't know if his grade, like there's so much, like Cam said, he's not wrong. Everything, Japanese anglers are meticulous about their stuff, and maybe our brand near mint is they're like, oh yeah, it's got some flaws on it. And then their brand new near mint is like they bought it, pulled it out of the box, so they didn't want it and put it back in the box, and now he's selling it. But
That's crazy, man.
That Alder Baron was crazy. Like the second it showed up, I opened it to make sure that it wasn't like super banged up or anything, because I didn't want to give Matt a reel that was in poopy condition.
Yeah.
And I opened it up and I could have swore that it had the original like bearing grease from Shimano itself.
Wow.
I was like,
yeah, I mean,
there's no way.
that's the reel he's talking about, and I used it maybe half the season last year, and the couple little nicks on it are from me. Like, it's not from when I bought it. When I bought it, it was brand spanking new. I'm looking at the box over there on a little shelf I've got, and I mean, it came with the box. It came with the Shimano warranty paperwork in it in full Japanese.
Huh.
And it's not even like it was laminated. Like everything he had was in meticulous condition, which was great. So
in reality, like you bought that reel at a really good discount. You use that for a year or two, and you decide to sell it. You could probably sell it for what you paid for it again. Right?
Yeah, all day. I mean, there's
Especially
some
here.
reels. Yeah, about to say anything that's actual JDM, because there's some reels he has like the Chronarch MGLs. You can get this reel right here. You can get this in the United States now. But like this Aldebaran BFS is right. This is the same reel that I have. Let me share this tab. So this is the same reel that I've got, near mint, and it sells for $239.90 on here. And I guarantee you, I've had someone offer me $280 for that reel because that's what they go for in the US. You'll see guys who have them here put them on eBay for $290, $300.
Yeah.
And this guy's just selling them way cheaper from Japan. I think the only reason he doesn't sell more, because he sold like 1,500 items. I think the only reason he hasn't sold more is because there's that $20 shipping. But kind of like what Cam says, you're getting it from Japan.
Yeah.
Like, it's kind of far away. So $20 is really not that big of a deal.
And with the speed that it's getting to you, it's worth every penny, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah.
Heck yeah, I'm about to do some shopping after we get off here, so I'm kind of pumped.
To kind of show off. Go ahead, Matt.
Another big plus is eBay lets you use PayPal and PayPal credit. So if you have a significant other like me, you can hide it. Stacy, if you listen to this, I just joking. I would never do that.
But kind of attest to the deals that you can get. Like we mentioned a little bit ago, I had an unfortunate kayaking accident down in Dale Hollow, so I lost a couple setups, and I'm working to get those setups back. So I recently had to order another Metanium, and the only reason I went with a Metanium instead of like a Bantam or something is because the deal that I found on YG Japan, it's typically a $420 reel retail, but I found it for like $250, and this
That's
thing
awesome.
is basically in brand new condition, and it's like new, and I it's worth every penny, in my opinion, especially with the quality of the product that you're going to be getting from him, and you know it's going to be in great shape. And even with this Chronarch CI4, every nick that is on it, I put on it myself, kind of like Matt with his Aldebaran.
Yeah. And like you're reselling that reel right now. So if somebody's interested in that reel, get a hold of Cam on his Instagram. How long do you use that? Maybe a year, you said?
I haven't even had it a year. I bought it. I was probably working with you, Matt, for what, like maybe 4 months when I bought that. So I probably got it
Maybe, yeah. It was last fall, mid to late fall. I mean, you've
like
only
September?
had that reel. Yeah, I
think
would
it
say
might have been
probably around there, because that was before the great fishing withdrawal from where we worked at happened. Yeah, so I mean, you haven't used that reel a whole lot. It's. I mean, I cast it the second you got it. We went out, I think a week or two after you got it, and I was casting. I mean, that thing is. I had the same one when they came out, and that thing was still smooth as butter.
Yeah, I love it. The only reason I'm trying to get rid of it is because I'm trying to buy Megabass stuff from Matt. So he dragged me into that rabbit hole.
Oh yeah, and
He's trying to drag me, but man, I just can't afford it.
I've tried and tried. Well, you just got to find the deals. That's why we're talking about this today.
I know.
You find the deals, you're on.
I'm already hooked on that eBay thing, so it might be bad.
You're going to be sitting on the water, and you're just going to be like having a slow day, and you're just going to be like, oh, I wonder what reels are on eBay.
Yeah, I mean, the big plus with that is you're looking at, because there's guys who have shops, because I've found them. There's guys who have shops for Daiwa if you're not a Shimano guy. There's guys who have shops for even Luz and Abu if you're more of a U.S. market guy. They're on there too. But how I look at it, if I'm going to go to a store and spend $300 on a reel, because when I buy reels, I either keep them for long periods of time or I resell them quick for what I got them for. I will typically check all that first because I'm a Shimano guy at heart. So if I'm going to go spend $290 on a Bantam in a store, but I can go to him and get a Bantam for $220 with $20 shipping at $240, I'm saving $50.
Yep.
I'm getting it quick. And like Cam said, it's a meticulous condition regardless of what his grading system is. I've never seen anything come from him that's in less than almost brand new. So I mean, it's just finding the deals. Like everyone sees all the rods and reels I have, and they're like, "Oh yeah, you have all these." There's very few that I've spent top dollar on. Very few.
Yeah.
So
Very cool. So if you guys are in the market for something like that, go check out that guy's eBay page. Pretty cool stuff.
And
Matt recently mentioned in a episode that we did. I forget what episode it was. You talked about Amazon Japan. So hit on that a little bit.
Yeah, it was the episode with Jig Masters. We had them on talking
that's
about
right.
their new micro buzz, which I'm so pumped to get that. Check that episode out if you haven't seen it yet. Really awesome episode and a great bait. Changes the whole way of river fishing, in my opinion, or fishing in general. But so Amazon Japan is kind of self-explanatory. It's Amazon in Japan, and they have a lot of stuff. Just like you can go on Amazon here and buy luge reels or anything along those lines, they have a lot of stuff that you would be able to buy over there. So just for instance, you can see the joy of Matt is everything's just Shimano Scorpion and everything. So if I wanted to look at the Shimano Scorpion or the Bantam 2022, because that's not out yet where you can even get it here, it's as simple as double clicking and translate to English and bam. I mean, just done. So, and it's like,
how do you
it's
get
getting-
to Amazon Japan? Is it like just typing it into the search bar?
Amazon.co.jp. That's all you do.
That's simple.
Yep, it's that simple. And it's I mean, it's not even if you have an Amazon account. Like for instance, I have a different account for my Amazon JP than I do for my Amazon US, but it does deliver to the United States. You will pay a higher shipping because again, it's coming from the United States. But you know, if I wanted this reel, it's gonna pop up. Again, it's as simple as just translate to English. A lot of it will come up as it will, but some of it doesn't.
Mhm.
And it's figuring out what the transfer is from yen to US dollars is how much you're going to pay for something. So yeah, Amazon JP is another great way that wasn't available back in the day to get JDM products. Same with baits. I mean, there's some baits on there that you can't get in the US that you can get on Amazon JP. So yeah, that was a great little find.
Yeah, that's cool.
And even with like a lot of the JDM stuff, you don't always have to go to and be the weird obscure guy going to Amazon Japan. You can still find Mega Bass and some depth stuff at websites like American Legacy Fishing. I think I saw a little bit of Mega Bass last time I was on Tackle Warehouse. My only gripe with Tackle Warehouse is their shipping takes forever.
Oh, dude. Don't even.
Yeah,
I have those two on the list to talk about. I guess we can talk about both of them now, but go ahead, Matt.
I mean, yeah, with Amazon JP, it's pretty straightforward. It's Amazon from Japan, just like I said. So it's a nice resource you can have. The joy of Amazon is they let other people, not just Amazon, sell stuff. So you're actually starting to see a big trickle down effect of JDM reels. The last two Scorpions I've bought have been on US Amazon. They've been on sale or they've been on a discounted price. And they were just there, and I got 2-day free shipping. So, you know, you just got to.
Like I have a new rabbit hole to go down.
Yep, Amazon JP. But yeah, we can start talking about Tackle Warehouse, American Legacy. You know, more of your big names that like everyone knows Tackle Warehouse. You can't drive down the highway without seeing a Tackle Warehouse fish sticker on the back of someone's car or truck.
I think you have one on your truck.
I don't. I think Brad, I used to have one on my, actually, do I have one on my truck? I might have one on my truck. I don't know. I got a lot of stickers back there now.
I'm not a real big fan of Tackle Warehouse. I mean, they got a nice selection of stuff and like stuff I can't even get in the stores here. But like Cam said, their shipping is really slow. They don't seem to have stuff in stock that I want all the time. And you got to wait weeks. I don't know.
Yeah.
Another thing I don't like about them is their customer service isn't the greatest.
Oh, it's atrocious. Don't lie. It's atrocious. It just is. I mean, I remember back in November, I had a $400 order of tackle that was supposed to be delivered December. I don't know. Let's say if I put it in a week before Thanksgiving. It's supposed to be here like a week or two after just Thanksgiving. And I was like, okay, I can wait. I'm not fishing as much because it's starting to get cold. I'm not like Brad. I don't have a dry suit, so I'm not fishing as much. And as someone who's worked in retail for a long time, I understand holidays. It happens. So I give them the benefit of the doubt, but then that rolls around. Christmas rolls around. It's January, and it's still order processing. And I was like, what is
Yeah.
going on? So I called them, talked to some. I mean, it was not a great experience. And I ended up just canceling my order because they were like,
I did
oh,
the same thing.
yeah, it's all here, but we don't know when we're going to ship out yet. And I was like, well, it's been like a month and a half, and it's not like I'm getting the latest greatest. I think I had some flatworms in there that was in stock. I had a couple Megabass Vision 110s. I had some mag drafts, and then I had some like real oil. Like it wasn't even it was a big order because of the Megabass stuff, but it wasn't
Yeah.
like a item quantity order. And they're like, oh, well, we were just working on shipping and it's been hard to get stuff out. I was like, I would understand that, but it's been a little bit too long and there was no solution. So I just canceled the order and got all my stuff from Hookup Tackle and then Bass Pro Online and stuff like that. So
Yeah. Yeah, same thing happened to me, man. I had an order. It wasn't that expensive. I mean, it's like $75, but yeah, I went a few weeks without it. I'm like, nothing. Still says processing. So I called him. I was like, man, just cancel it. And he's like, oh, all right, sorry.
yeah,
It's-
I mean,
They got good prices though, but
they do, but you never get the product. And actually right now their whole systems apparently got hacked because I just got a letter
yeah.
from the owner or co-owner like of steps to take.
Yeah, you remember Andrew Hayes said he was in that breach. Somebody took money out of his account.
Yep, I lucked out. I used a debit card that literally expired like 5 days after I paid it. So I got so lucky. I don't know what I couldn't remember if I lost it or something, but it came up. It was like, oh yeah, this card, and it was like, I don't have that anymore, so I don't care.
I used the gift card, so that's probably why I wasn't part of it.
Mm-hmm.
That's funny, but I don't know. I think there's better options if you're wanting to look for tackle. Tackle Warehouse ain't my favorite. Go ahead.
The nice thing about Tackle Warehouse too is, I mean, while their customer service sucks, they take forever to ship. So I mean, it's not looking good for them. But the one thing that they do have for them is they do have a really good social media presence, and they have a lot of in-depth videos. So if you're looking for like the thing where Tackle Warehouse shines, in my opinion, is they have a lot of like domestic products. So like your Lew's, your Strike King, your Z-Man, your Berkeley, everything like that. So, and like you mentioned, Brad, they do have really great prices. So,
Yeah.
I mean, for someone that is just getting into it and going online, if you don't mind waiting 6 months, Tackle Warehouse is definitely a good option. And they do have some videos that are informative. And like Matt mentioned with Hookup, how they do this week on the Hookup, Tackle Warehouse does the exact same thing where they're like, this week on Tackle Warehouse, and they show literally everything new that they are adding to their inventory. So it's definitely another good spot that you can like kind of preview product if you're not just looking it up from like Berkeley or Strike King themselves.
Yeah. I going back to the price, I think I saw jackhammers at $12.99 there, which is a really good deal because at Field and Stream they're $19.99.
Yeah.
Well, that's because the price just went up. And that's a whole nother thing I don't want to get into because I'll be on a rant forever. Because they were $14.99 for like 3 years, and then they just jumped up to $20. And the only saving grace of me buying a crap ton of product all the time is I have plenty. I don't need to buy them until I start losing them.
Yeah.
But I think the biggest downfall that happened to Tackle Warehouse is kind of like what I talked about at the beginning. When they started, it was the place to go. Like every holiday, they did their December 30, and every day they had a different sale, and they still do it. But they shipped super quick. If you spent $50, you got a T-shirt, or $50, you got a T-shirt. I think now it's $100, but whatever. Like I have 8 Tackle Warehouse T-shirts up in my closet. None of them fit anymore because I got fat. But it's fine. But they were amazing, and they kind of blew up this online retailer.
Yeah.
Of getting all your stuff, and I think what happened is they blew up way too fast because they've been the place to go forever, and I feel like they just got behind. If that makes sense. Like I feel like they're trying to catch up and they can't. There's stuff that they have on, like they let everyone do a pre-order on it, and then they're back ordered on something for X amount of time after because they've sold so many pre-orders. They have to cancel pre-orders. There's a couple baits that, like the Berkeley Gilly when that came out.
Yeah.
Impossible to find.
it was on pre-order, and I went on there and I bought one of every color on pre-order, and it went through and they charged my card, and then they refunded me all out of nowhere. Like I woke up one day to an email like, oh, you have blah 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 refunded back into your account, and I was like, what? And it was all my Tackle Warehouse stuff. Like, oh, and I sent them an email to customer service, and they're like, oh, we sold too many pre-orders, it's going to be back ordered now for X amount of months. And I was like, okay, well, that's stupid. Like, I understand, but it's everything. I mean, I think they just got too big too quick, which is why
makes sense.
American Legacy, for example, we start talking about them next. I think that's why they're having such success now, is because Tackle Warehouse is starting to slow down to where they're not, fulfilling everyone's needs and whatnot. So other websites can kind of fill that gap for people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I haven't bought anything from American Legacy yet, but I have gone searching on their website a few times recently. They got really good prices online.
Oh, they
like
have awesome
Sunline,
prices online.
like 1,000 or 600 yard spools of line for like $48 or something like that.
If I'm not getting my Sunline, because I mean, I'll admit it, I'm kind of a snob when it comes to some things, so I use a lot of Sunline. And if I'm not getting it from like a store around here, I'm usually going through American Legacy, because they do have good prices on their line and a bunch of other stuff. And the nice thing about them is, unlike Tackle Warehouse, they do ship at a decent speed, so you're not waiting forever for what it is that you're ordering. And they're doing 25% off, free shipping over $50. Can't beat that.
25% off plus free shipping. Is that what it was?
Well, yep. And you just use a code, and
Sunline
we're about
ship.
to see. Yeah, we're about to see Matt buy a bunch of stuff live.
Hey, type in your credit card number real quick.
Oh yeah, no, don't worry. I'm not going to do that. I'm not that dumb. I literally was about to. Like, I forgot I was on a podcast for a second. I was like, oh man, I got to buy some stuff real quick. So now I got to do that after. I mean, like for instance, this stuff is Sunline Crank. Because I use technique specific lines, and for $50, I can get 660 yards. That's like a whole year worth of my crankbait rod.
Yep.
For $50 instead of the typical, I mean, it's
that many yards,
off.
you could re-spool that thing like 4 or 5
and
times.
It's gonna be even cheaper, because if you type in the Sunline ship promo code. So yeah, I was impressed with that website. They're good prices. They got a bunch of cool stuff. They also accept, like, if you want to trade in used gear, Cam, you might want to do this. Yeah, you want to trade in your used reel or a rod, they'll grade it. Like, you'll send them pictures and stuff, and then they'll come back and say, hey, that's how much it's worth. You could trade it in or whatever. I thought that was cool.
Yeah. And Cam, since you've gone through this website a little bit more than I have, do you know anything about their Legacy Elite program? Because I'm seeing that now.
I looked into it a little bit, but I haven't really gone real in depth with it. I'm pretty sure like it's showing it there at the bottom. Like I'm pretty sure you get discounts on shipping. Get like, I'm pretty sure you get emails for like stuff that's dropping. So I think they might get some of the like Mega Bass like drops and stuff on like their 110. So you get like emails on stuff like that. And
there's some cool stuff in this.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. Like the shipping,
That's...
the shipping alone. So no matter what you order, you get free basic shipping.
Oh, and there's the trading, like you mentioned, Brad.
Yep, and you get a 10% boost on all your trades. So that's pretty cool. To where you can do a trade, and if you're an elite benefit member, you get a 10% boost. You get monthly access to JDM Megabass products. So I'm definitely going to do this. I mean, no question.
I might have to.
How much is it?
It's $50 a year, but for $50 a year,
that's not bad.
If
you're saving way more than that.
Yeah, easily, because you get $25 just for signing up. So that's 25 free bucks. So now, instead of $50 a year, it's $25 a year. How you think about it? If you're going to spend money there anyway, you get free shipping. So if you do 3 orders of under $100, you get 2-day shipping at $5 instead of like $15. So you do 3 orders, you've paid off your yearly, and you get access to a bunch of other stuff. So yeah, that $50 is well worth it.
Oh yeah, that's cool. I didn't know that was there.
I looked at it briefly. I didn't realize that it offered that much. I kind of saw it and I kind of just glossed over it, like, oh, it's just a gimmick to get like cheaper shipping. And
Yeah,
now
that's kind
looking
of
at
what I thought when I
the
first
Mega
saw it.
Bass offer and all that, and it's a good deal.
Kind of like what Brad said. I've glanced through it. I've gone through it. I've never ordered from them yet. I've got buddies who have. I know you have. But whenever I glance through, I see it. I was like, oh, it probably just gets me free 12-day shipping or something. But yeah, this is nice.
Looks legit.
Really does.
Yeah, you should try to send that Chronarch CI4 to them and see what they give you for it, or take pictures and send it to them.
I definitely might try it, but
I'm kind of interested to see what they give you for it.
I am too, and it's definitely an option, especially if you're wanting to go through a medium that is more legit than Facebook Marketplace, where you don't have to deal with some random guy stabbing you with a toothbrush.
Yeah, I'm about to say there's Facebook Marketplace. I wanted to talk about that too. Is there anything else we want to talk about American Legacy?
No, that's what I wanted
good.
to cover, the big things.
However, there is another website that I recently found. I'm pretty sure it's legit because I mean I've seen them advertised all over the place, and I'm pretty sure they're sponsored with one of the Bassmaster pros, and it's Omnia Fishing.
Oh yeah,
Omnia. Yeah,
and I've seen them a little bit. I haven't done any business through them, but from what I've seen, they have a really good selection of Daiwa, good selection of Shimano from what I've seen, and that's really all I've looked at their website for, is because I just saw it on like a Instagram ad, and I was like, yeah, I'll check them out because I'm always trying to find deals, and I was like, oh, this place actually seems legit.
I tell you, I just found, from what you said, this is the first time I've been on it, and this is cool. Shot by lake. So you find a lake. Let's go through this together, everybody. So you find a lake, and for instance, I'm guessing this is CJ Brown. So if you're from my area, CJ Brown's right here. You can look at that, and it'll show you. Oh, look at that! It's showing you top techniques. It's not showing you like conditions, but it's showing you top techniques that Ned rigs, spinner baits, and shallow diving crankbaits.
Huh. I wonder if they're basing that off of like a. I wonder if they're basing that off like a fishing map, like a topo.
They might. This is top techniques reported on CJ Brown.
Oh, okay.
Or Clarence J. Brown for people who aren't around here. But there's largemouth. You can change it to whatever fish you like to fish for.
They got a muskie option.
Yeah, there's muskie in there. They started stocking them. That's an underrated lake in Ohio.
It is. Well, James, our buddy, just went down there and he caught a ginormous tank.
Yeah, that thing was huge.
Yeah, first cast.
There's a guy I'm friends with on Facebook, Christian Highfield. He fishes that all the time, and he said it's not uncommon for that lake to put 15 to 18 pounds of fish during a weeknight tournament.
Yeah, I think it gets overlooked because they've been stocking muskie for so long.
Yep.
And I mean, they've been stocking muskie. I think they started the program in 2012, so it's been about 10 years, 10 or 11 years. It's either 2012 or 2010, somewhere in there. And it's a good walleye fishery and crappie fishery. So I think the bass itself may get overlooked, and it's a larger lake. So, if you don't have a boat, there's not a whole lot of shore opportunity. And if you're not comfortable with the kayak, it is a larger lake. So it's a little bit intimidating.
Nuts. That place gets nuts when it's windy. People call it Lake Erie South.
Mm-hmm.
So you get some
few
crazy.
times I've been on there in a big boat. I was still a little bit sketched out because the amount of wind, and it doesn't help that on a nice day you have jet skiers and pleasure boaters, so they're just adding into the sketch.
Yeah, and it's like they like to get as close to you as you can if you're on a kayak. Or if you're fishing, it's like they want to see if you're catching anything as they're going by you at 40 miles an hour. So,
my dad caught a 20-inch smallmouth out of there.
Yeah, see, I've fished it a bit. I've caught largemouth out of there. I had a muskie eat like 4 of my jigs back to back, which really ticked me off. And I went out with a buddy I used to work with, and he caught a muskie and a couple largies. But I've never caught a smallmouth out of there. I've heard they're in there. I've seen people catch them, and they're usually good size. Yep.
So I've heard good stories about smallmouth and largemouth in there. I've
Yep.
I've definitely been working to try and get into some more smallmouth because the couple that I caught up in New York basically sealed my love for that species
Oh,
of
dude.
fish, and I love them.
Yeah,
But
those are
I was
awesome
about to
fish.
mention my favorite story about CJ Brown was you talking about a buddy that we used to work with. I sold him a
Oh yeah,
Quantum KVD glass rod. It's a crankbait rod.
it was
And his first
my
time
old
out
glass
using it,
rod,
Mm.
Brad,
and the
the
first
one
time
you
out using
used.
it, he hooked into that muskie that you talked about.
Yeah,
Jeez.
we're sitting there. We moved to the other side after a muskie ate like every jig I had in my box, and we went to the other side of the lake. And he was like, he's throwing a crankbait on that glass rod that he just got. It was my old glass rod. Brad used it for a little bit. Then I sold it to Cam. Then Cam didn't like it because it was heavy, so he sold it to Justin. And Justin's throwing it. He's like, man, I really hope I don't catch a muskie on this. I was like, dude, there's no muskie on this side. You're not going to catch a muskie. And two casts later, bam. And he's like, oh man, it's head shaking. I was like, okay, good. It's a largemouth. Good job. And I'm throwing a bait. And then as I'm throwing, my bait gets eaten off, and I watch just a slimy monster eat my 6 cents, $14 Axis crankbait.
Oh, jeez.
And he just comes up and he's like, it's a muskie. I was like, no, it's not. He's like, yeah. And that glass rod's just like bending like way too far. And I was like, dude, if that explodes, like just close your eyes. That's like,
jeez.
like that's a hybrid glass rod. That's got some stuff you don't want in your face.
Yeah.
And we ended up getting it in, man. And he was like, oh, I'm really glad I bought this glass rod. This is way better than I thought it was. I was like, yeah, I mean, trial by fire, I suppose, catching a muskie on it. And it was like, I mean, it was like a 25 to 30 inch muskie. Nothing huge, but a good sized fish on a medium moderate glass rod. So
I've
yeah,
only caught one muskie, and that was at Cedar Creek. I was all the way back in a cove in about 6 foot of water. Me and my buddy were 2 kayaks apart. Probably, we were 2 kayaks parallel, and I'm just reeling in a rooster tail on a medium light, and that thing just smacks it as I lift it out of the water. It drenched him. It scared the crap out of me. I was like, oh my gosh, dude, that was nuts. I'll never forget that.
yeah. I've never caught a muskie when I go fishing for muskie. I always catch them when I don't like. I hope I don't see one. Like I hope they're all sleeping or they're all in a different part of the lake or something. But I always will catch them those days.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I saw Matt doing the figure 8 down at Dale Hollow.
Yeah, that's because
With
at Dale
his
Hollow I
swim
was
bait.
throwing a 9-inch 6 cents glide, and just because it's that day we got skunked and I was throwing off a point, and I was like, oh, I'll just throw it, just see what happens. And I saw like it is either a muskie or Nessie lives in Dale Hollow. It's one of the two, because it was like
the
just
same day I flipped.
yeah, it was the same day. It was after you left and you went down that back channel. We went all the way, like what was it, like a mile away from where the mouth of the marina was. It was a point. I put spot lock on. I was sitting there throwing, and he came back and he just swiped at it to where my bait like jumped out of the water. He hit it so hard, and I was like, oh no. So I'm trying to figure 8 in a kayak with a 7'9" rod, like doing this stuff. And it was, man, that was insane. So I threw back out there, and obviously there was nothing there, because that would have made the day a lot better. So
I looked over and I just saw him doing the figure 8. He's like, dude, something just chased it. I'm like, oh
yeah, it
that's
was
cool.
monstrous.
You guys had a decent run on Dale Hollow that day. You guys were a good bit away.
We
After
went far.
I had my ordeal, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna try and find him and explain what happened. And I go out to the main lake because it calmed down, and I'm like, I wonder where they are. And I look off like half a mile away, and all I see is this bright orange dot, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's them.
That was me.
Yeah, that was Brad. He was in the Hobie. I was just sitting back. That day we made such long runs because we weren't catching nothing.
Yeah.
We were just getting blasted by MLF boats with throwing
all the-
Alabama rigs.
We're hitting all the points.
I was so sad that day because right when I was turning around and when I flipped, I was turning around to go back out to the main body and try and drop shot off a point, and then I lose my drop shot rod, and I'm just crying.
Oh yeah, it was a rough day for everybody. You more now, but to wrap it up, the last thing I want to talk about is Facebook Marketplace. So there's pros and cons. I know Brad will say it all the time how much he hates it, and he hates it for one of the major cons, which is everyone will always lowball you everything, no matter what you have.
That and they'll message you, and then they won't message you back, and then it's
yeah.
stupid.
Yeah, but the plus on the buyer side, if you're local, I will never tell anyone to trust anybody on the internet, especially people like individuals, because they will never, very rarely, will actually ship stuff to you. But if you're local, you can find all my Megabass rods that I currently have, well, minus one. I got local on Facebook. One I actually bought from eBay Japan, but I got local on Facebook from a guy. He was selling them. He was selling them cheap. He needed money. And bam, bam, I got them for a crazy deal. $500 rods. I got them for $210. It's a great deal. I found St. Croix Legends on there for $150. It just, you gotta be mindful and look at your bigger areas, and you'll find stuff that Columbus has 12 Megabass rods a day on there that sell.
Yeah, and then there's people who will overprice stuff because they think what they have is like top line. I'm like, no, that's not
No
it, dude.
balls. I know what I got.
Yeah, it's the same people who have like a 1996 Dodge Cummins, who 12 out that has 100,000 miles on it and put it for $30,000. Yeah, I mean, you'll have that, but you can find deals. You can swim through all the muck and you can find some great deals on Facebook Marketplace. So don't sleep on Facebook. Just got to look and be mindful.
I don't know if you guys seen that video. It's a guy talking about his Dodge Ram. He's like, Dodge Ram. I got me a Dodge Ram.
When that video first came out, I saw it all over the place. But to talk about Facebook Marketplace, like Matt said, if you can wade through all the muck, you can definitely find good stuff. My best story and my prized possession that I got out of a Facebook Marketplace that I didn't end up keeping for long because it's now in the possession of the Matt Souders.
That's me.
I bought a Lose Pro TI, and I was throwing it around, and I was like, you know what? It's a nice reel, but I'm not really a big fan of it. Mm-hmm. And I put it on Facebook Marketplace, and I'm like, oh, yeah, I'd put it up for a decent price because I got it for a decent price. And I was like, we'll also take trades in, like, Shimano. And a guy messages me 30 minutes after I posted, and he's like, yeah, you want an Antares DC left-handed? And I'm like, yes.
Yeah.
And
the funny story is that guy was how I like to call him, my Megabass plug. Like, he's the one who's selling Megabass rods and everything. And he messaged me first. He's like, hey, do you want this Antares DC? My buddy's selling it. And I was like, well, I don't really have the money to spend on it right now. And it's unlike YG Japan. It was a little beat up. And I was like, I really do want it because the Antares is like one of the best reels Shimano's ever made. It's the Taj Mahal of DC reels and reels in general. And I was like, nah, I'm not going to get it. So then Cam texted me and he was like, hey, is this a good deal? And I was like, yeah, man, that's a great deal. Bring it to work tomorrow. And then Cam, you can finish the story.
So to explain my naive mind, I was like, yeah, I got it. And I traded the guy the Lose Pro TI for this Antares, and I was on top of the world. And as soon as I got it, I sent Matt a picture of it, and I'm like, man, I just got this reel. It's great. And that was when I was still, a goofball and was stuck in my ways and only using right-hand reels. Now I've thankfully taught myself to use both right and left hand in case I ever come across a deal like that again. So I don't.
You're welcome.
Thanks. It took 2 weeks of me forcing myself to reel a left-hand reel, and now I'm like, I can use whatever I want. But I'm like, I bring it to work and show Matt, and I'm like, yeah, it's kind of weird. I'm not used to left hand, and he's like, oh yeah, I'll buy it. And I was like, okay. So
so how that happened, it was, hey man, I'll give you I think it was like $150 plus I'll let you have my Bantam. I'll trade you my Bantam for it. And he was like, okay. And I was like, and I do this with every trade I make to Cam or anybody else, is like, the only clause I have is if I want to buy it back and you're willing to sell it, you'll sell it to me. And I sold it to him. And then like 2 weeks later, I was like, hey man, I'll give you $250 for that Bantam. He was like, oh, okay. So I just bought my Bantam back for exactly what I paid for it. And I was like, all right, cool. Thanks.
That's awesome.
But I'm older and wiser now. So
I didn't scam you at all. You got more than what you paid for the reel.
No, I know.
You sound like a bad guy.
No, you're not a bad guy. It's just I've grown as a fisherman and taught myself how to use both a right hand and a left hand
Yeah.
retrieve, so I can make the most out of deals like that. And even I've learned, and through the internet and everything, I'm almost good with all of my setups.
Yeah.
I'm kind of at the point where I kind of want to downsize instead of having,
That's what
like 9 or
happens.
10 setups like Matt every time he goes out on his kayak. I'm probably gonna go down to like 6. So
That's the perfect sweet spot, dude. That's what I bring. On the lake, I should say. On the river, it's like 3 or 4.
also this year I definitely want to do a lot more river fishing because I've tried the GMR bank fishing and I've caught like nothing. I might
Yeah.
have caught one fish last year that I can't remember, but other than that, I know that if I want to get on fish on the GMR, you guys are the guys to talk to. So
Heck yeah. I'll take you out. I don't care. It'll be fun.
Oh yeah, we'll go.
I got a few others real quick.
Okay, yeah.
This one I actually heard from Andrew Hayes, Tackle Talk podcast. He had a sponsor, and it was called topfishingdeals.com. And what that did was if you were looking for a certain product, you'd go to this website, you would type it in, and it would scour the internet for like deals. So if there was a deal online, it would find it, it would show up in the search bar, and you just click on it, go to the website, whoever's selling it, and purchase it. I just thought that was cool. I never bought anything off of it yet, but I did look for some line and stuff, and they had Sunline Sniper for I don't know $18 somewhere once.
Ooh, that's a great
And it
deal.
was it was like 200-yard spool, which it's usually $22 or something. I don't know.
Yep.
I think everywhere I've seen it's like 25, 26 bucks.
Yeah, I can't remember exactly, but I don't know. That's another cool little thing for you to save some money. And then the other two that we didn't talk about, which we could probably go into depth on these, is Fish USA. Fish USA. I don't know if you guys use that or not.
Yep. I have for sure.
I've heard of them, but I've never gone to them.
They're cool. It's a cool website, especially if you're like a kayak bass fishing member, which that membership pays for itself if you use Fish USA. So they sell a lot of kayak accessories, fishing accessories, a bunch of stuff. I mean, this right there, you can save 40% on Gamakatsu, 10 on what is that, Power Pro?
Yeah, it's Power Pro, just promo code or all fishing lines, so 10% off everything. You just use the Fish Line 10 code, and it's whatever line you have. So Sniper, they've got it for $20 for a 200-yard spool, which is cheaper than what's average out there.
Yeah, and
24.
like I said, the if you're a KBF member, you get another percentage knocked off of all this stuff. I think it's 10 or 20%. I can't.
I think it's 20. I'm pretty sure it's 20%. I got to look at my thing from last
Are you a
year.
KBF member?
I was last year. I'm not this year.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't become one this year either, but
How
Yeah,
much
I
is
was-
it, if you were interested?
$50, I think.
Yeah, it's $49.99 a year, which I got it for Fish USA because you got an extra percentage off, and I was putting in a big order, and that was alone would have paid it. So I just did it that way, and then I did 2 other orders, and it paid it off pretty quick.
I don't know if they still do it or not, but the year that I became a member, once you became a member, they sent you an email that had a $35 gift coupon to use at Fish USA on top of the 10% off. So I ended up getting some Calcos donkey leashes and some T-shirts and stuff for free.
Oh,
on
there
that
you go.
first order. Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Can't beat free.
I know.
Never.
I might have had to pay shipping, which was like $5 or something. I can't remember though, but it is what it is. The last one I have is Fishing Online. I've never actually used it, but I know a ton of people that do use it. So you guys got any experience with that?
I don't know. It's kind of the same thing. I know a ton of guys who've used it, but I've never used it personally.
That is one that is new to me. I've never heard of that one.
Okay. I think they have kayaks on that website. No.
I'm looking at it right now, and they have Bixby's.
Yeah,
I would
they have
assume
motor. So it's kind of similar to Fish USA. They got a bunch of kayak fishing related accessories, and I mean you can go through their buy baits and reels and rods and all that stuff.
Yeah, I mean they have a whole drop down for kayak accessories.
Yeah, and so, some of these rods you can't find in stores. So, I mean, they got the Dobbins Champions Extremes and stuff.
Yep.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah,
But
I need to check that out.
Yeah, just anywhere you can find a little shop like that, man. That's where you're going to save the money.
Oh, all day long. Yeah, I mean that's what it's all about for online shopping. It's given the consumer such a plethora of options to where it's not just, oh, this store sells this store sells this. It's this store sells everything, but store sells everything for cheaper, so I'm going to order from them. Like it keeps the market competitive, I think, which is nice, which leads to lower prices. So
to close the show out, what is your guys? What's the best deal you have ever seen on one of the websites we've talked about? Kind of putting you on the spot.
Let's think. I buy so much stuff. I gotta try to remember. The best deal I've ever seen was on Hookup 2 years ago. Was it 2 years ago? It was. Was it? I don't know. It was a while ago. They had a Shimano Bantam, and they had it for typical price for those that they'll sell them for is like $280, $290. They had it on closeout sale for like $160. Jeez. And I hopped on that. I mean, that's $100 off, which was great. And then Tackle Warehouse was doing one of their December giveaways, and I remember it was 2 days before Christmas. This was in like 2015. I just got back from the field when I was in the Marine Corps. Didn't have service when I was out there. Got back, looked at Tackle Warehouse because I had an email, looked at it, and they had mag drafts at like 40% off. So I bought like 40 mag drafts. So
I don't blame you on that one.
40% off.
Mm-hmm.
So every fifth one, you're getting it free.
Pretty much, yeah. I mean, that's how I looked at it. I just bought one of every color, and it was all the 9 inches. So like I was throwing all my big ones. That box with all those mag drafts in it right now is currently at the bottom of the New River in Jacksonville, North Carolina, in about 45 foot of water. So if you go out there and find it, feel free. You can have them all. It was a waterproof box. Plano, if they're all still dry, you can have them because
Jeez.
I flip my kayak and it's all there, along with a couple tournament legends and my original bought off eBay in 2013 Shimano Metanium DC. So
now Cam doesn't feel as bad.
Yeah. I definitely don't feel as bad, but I'm not going to be telling people where my stuff fell in because they might have better luck finding my stuff than your stuff, Matt.
Oh yeah, dude. There's like a 10-foot alligator when I lost mine right by there. So good luck. You find it, you'll just get eaten and die. It's like it's you're not getting my stuff. Your stuff. Hey, I'll follow me on Instagram at Matt Fishing or MattSoudersFishing.com or not .com, but Matt Souders Fishing, and I have Cam's point. I've got the point, so we'll start the bidding at $500. It's about $2,000 worth of stuff. So
just drag a big old anchor through there.
If you're gonna start a bidding war for my stuff, at least cut me a little bit of it.
Say I've got the pin right here. It's right in this.
What's the best deal you've ever seen?
The best deal I've ever had, Matt, you might have to help me out because I don't really know the retail price of them. The retail price for the 16 Scorpion DC.
2016. Retail price for those, I want to say were $299 US. It's like, I think maybe 310 because they're like 31,000 yen. So yeah, it's like 310.
Well, the best deal that I ever got, as far as like everything, through the store that we mentioned earlier, the YG Japan on eBay, I found basically it was a little beat up, but Japanese beat up is still amazing condition. I think it had a few scratches on the spool, but I got a 2016 Scorpion DC for $150.
Ooh,
nice.
It's a great deal. It's a steal.
That's cool. Yeah, those those cosmetic like blemishes that wouldn't bother me one bit.
As long as the
No.
reel still functions as it should, I don't care.
Yeah,
Because I know I'm going to drop it and beat it up. And as long as it's good, I'm happy.
drop it and beat it up like an American.
Yep. Yeah. Unlike them, everything to us is a tool, and we just treat them like crap. Like my Antares, that was a brand new. That's like $1,000 reel. It looks like I've used that. Like when I deployed, it looks like I strapped it to the front of my plate carrier and low crawled with it. Like it is beat all. When I was down in Dale Hollow, the clutch button fell off in my kayak in my lap, and I had to put it back on in the kayak. Like it just but it still casts great, still works perfect. So whatever, I don't care.
Didn't you have to replace the crank handle on it when you first got it from me?
So yeah, that was the plan, and I was going to replace the crank handle with a Go Metric, and
Yeah,
You
the
just
Go
never
Metric
did
is still sitting right here, and I haven't put it on yet. So
like,
Now's the opportunity to do it.
yeah, it's in the truck, man. I don't want to go get it, so I don't really care.
It's all good.
Yeah.
Well, guys, we're winding down, man. Cam, you want to shout out socials and stuff for everybody to follow you?
The only one I really have is my my Instagram currently, despite Matt trying to get me on Facebook, but Facebook is for old people, so I'm still trying to hold out. But my Instagram is at Cam Daniel Fishing. I'll probably make a Facebook here in the near future because I do like to look at Facebook Marketplace and all that stuff, and it'd be another medium to try and talk to more fishing people and learn more stuff since I'm still relatively new to all of this. So I will take any pointers that I can get. But if anyone wants to follow me on Instagram at Cam Daniel Fishing, I'd appreciate it.
Heck yeah, dude. Matt, you got anything else to add?
no, nothing at all other than going with the episode. Be mindful, look for deals. I promise you will find good deals somewhere.
You can
just
definitely find good deals.
Just got to be patient, and I mean, just some of the websites we talked about today. You can maybe find your next reel. If you're a big Shimano guy, YG Japan, man, go there. Gives
Stay
And
away
not even just Shimano. He also has like Daiwa skis and stuff. So if you're a big Daiwa guy, you can find him there. And I'm pretty sure Brad might be his next
Josh
customer.
Chitwood, he has Daiwas, so it's not just Shimano's. So you can leave me alone about being a Shimano fanboy. He's got some steez. Go buy some steez and leave me alone.
Yeah, so if you see a Shimano Shimano Scorpion MGL left-handed baitcaster on that, do not buy it because it's mine. I'm about to buy that right after we get off. So
let's go.
But all right, guys. It's been fun. Good episode. We'll see you guys next week. Thanks for listening.
See you later, guys.
See ya. Thanks again for having me on, guys.
Yeah, no problem. Don't spend all your money in one place either.
Thanks for tuning in to another killer episode here on Paddle and Fin. Be sure to drop a 5-star rating, a thumbs up, or smash that subscribe button on any platform you're listening in on. Be sure to check us out on Waypoint TV, waypointtv.com. Make sure you sign up for the Fantasy Kayak Fishing League at paddleandfin.com/fantasy. You could support this show through Patreon, patreon.com/paddleandfin. Don't forget to check out the website, paddleandfin.com. Catch us on YouTube. If you got a question, comment, or want to see a future guest on the show, be sure to email us at paddleandfin@gmail.com. Shout out to our show supporters, Yak Gadget. You can check out all the fine kayak accessories at yakgadget.com. Pelican Professional. For all your cases, coolers, and lighting needs, go to pelican.com. Rocktown Adventures, your Midwest premier paddle sports destination. Go to rocktownadventures.com. Eastport Marina, the beautiful destination on Dale Hollow Lake. If you're looking for lodging, kayaks, kayak accessories, or anything fishing related on the beautiful Dale Hollow Lake, go to eastport.info. And Jigmasters Jigs. When in doubt, get the jig out. Go to jigmasters.com and fill your tackle boxes today.